Paul Elliott, who's been such an inspirational player for Celtic this season. And Richard Gough, well, one goal this season, that was the Gold Cup winner against Celtic. So it will be Celtic to kick off. Referee just checking his watch. And so the match gets underway, the 64th Premier Division meeting between the teams. Celtic have won 24 to Rangers 20, 19 of the games drawn. Some early nerves from Scott Nisbet as he sends the ball out of play. Well, this is the 6th meeting of the sides this season so far. Rangers have 3 wins, Celtic 1 win and a draw. Well, the atmosphere, as ever, incredible. Davy Dodds recalled for Rangers this afternoon. That was him getting a touch. And Ellie McCoy's returning to the fold this afternoon, a great favourite with the Rangers fans. He scored 18 goals this season. In fact, he scored 18 career goals against Celtic. What a record. Spencer for Rangers. Taking on White. Showing great pace, getting to the line. Well taken by Pat Connor. Well, that was excellent play by John Spencer. And as he took the ball to the defender, got away from Derek White. He got in a good cross, which was well handled by Pat Connor.
Rangers will have to do that. They'll have to try and get to the byline this week. Last week it was Celtic who were doing all the damage down the right-hand side with Joe Miller. So Rangers are now got to try and turn the tables on them today and get behind the Celtic defence.
So the ball coming off the head of Davy Dodds, and out of play for the throw-in to Celtic. McNally to McStay. Forward looking for Coyne, but the offside flag going up against the Celtic striker. A remarkable season Tommy Coyne's had. 13 goals in 21 games so far. Mo Johnson getting a touch for Rangers. Elliott had to be decisive.
Paul Elliott was outstanding last week, wasn't he? But I think, you know, last week Rangers played into his hands, playing long balls up the middle, which suited him. I think today with McCoy and Johnson around his feet, it'll be a different story.
Well, headed away by Gough. Nice little turn by Joe Miller. Just keeps it in play. Mo Johnson chasing back. And a free kick. The referee indicating an elbow used by Mo Johnson. And Celtic have the free kick. Miller was racing forward. Johnson challenging. The referee well up with the play. Although Miller got away from Johnson, the referee not applying the advantage. And again, Paul Elliott has moved into the Rangers penalty area. Again, Gary Stevens watching him carefully as Miller takes the kick with his right foot. Goff's above them all. The ball spinning high and awkwardly in the air. It's lost by Chris Woods. It's into the back of the net. It's a goal for Celtic. Seven minutes gone at Parkhead, and Anton Rogan. Well, Chris Woods appeared to have the ball that come off the head of Richard Gough, spun crazily into the air. Chris Woods seemed to have it. It dropped to Anton Rogan, and Celtic dramatically take the lead.
Well, that must go down as a very, very bad mistake by Chris Woods. Surely the goalkeeper should have got that one.
Well, Anton Rogan, who's suffered at the hands of Rangers in recent seasons, scoring an own goal, well, he takes a measure of revenge. Well, Rogan's 25th game of the season today, including one appearance as substitute. And he'll be absolutely delighted with that. Well, Rangers going into this match today just 3 points ahead of Aberdeen. And it's remarkable to think back to the beginning of the month when they had a chance to go 10 points clear in the match at Pittodrie. Suddenly the pressure is on. Manager Graeme Souness there. Chairman David Murray just behind them. Celtic manager Billy McNeill sitting alongside the chief executive Terry Cassidy, chairman Jack McGinn in the foreground. Well, Celtic with their tails up. Miller taking on Coyne.
Gary Stevens has to be careful here at corner kicks. He was picking up Elliott before and was fouling Elliott, not playing the ball at all.
Well, this time Spackman getting it clear to Spencer. Shut down by Collins. Good little ball forward. Joe Miller, the early cross. Well, Jerry Craney so close to making it number 2. An excellent move by Celtic. The ball stabbed out to the right into the path of Joe Miller. He hit the early cross, and there was Craney getting the touch. Spackman for Rangers. Nisbet to Spencer. Nisbet taking on Rogan. A good cross, Mo Johnston. The ball deflected as he was challenged by Darius Dovchak. The Rangers have the corner kick.
Well, Rangers finding the way onto that byline again on the right-hand side. There was a lovely little ball coming in here from Nisbet, bent it in, and Mo Johnston was annoyed, really, he didn't score from it.
So Johnston with the corner. Well taken by Pat Bonner. He takes a bit of a knock. Bonner at full stretch. Good handling again by the keeper. So many players around him, he knew he just couldn't afford to drop it. Colliding with Scott Nisbet. So Bonner will need some treatment. Going for 8 shutouts in a row today, Pat Bonner. He really has been enjoying splendid form. In fact, he's lost just 1 goal in the last 10 games. And looking forward to a record 48th cap in midweek against England at Wembley in the European Championship. So it was good, brave goalkeeping, good handling. And happily for Celtic, Pat Bonner back on his feet. Johnson to Spackman. Now to McCoist, just puts it in play. Support from Mo Johnston. McCoist. Nisbet coming forward on the right, supported by Gary Stevens. As Nisbet now making a bit of space for himself, getting in the cross, the header. Ali McCoist into the side netting. Well, Nisbet finding space for himself on the right that was played to him by Gary Stevens. The cross away to the far post with McCoist racing in. And a high boot there from Elliott.
That was a nasty whack he got. Again, Nisbet doing well down this right-hand side. Very teasing ball to the back post. And really, that was a whack there by Elliott. Put his foot right up and caught McCoist in the face.
Nisbet, McCoist. Well, Elliott to Bonner. Slightly risky, but they get away with it. So half an hour played, Celtic leading by 1-0. To Nisbet, playing it into space for Spencer, headed behind by Elliott for the corner to Rangers. And Rangers will be looking to play more balls like that into space for John Spencer because of his tremendous pace. Corner coming over the header. Richard Goff's header cleared off the line by Paul McStay.
It was a combination of McStay and Bonner there. We can probably see it here. And I think probably Bonner just got in front of McStay there to knock it away.
Well, Bonner taking another knock, but again Richard Goff showing how dangerous he can be from set pieces. The corner coming in from the right. Goff climbing above them all, the downward header. And Bonner right across, getting cover on his left-hand post.
I'm always amazed, you know, at Richard Goff. He is so dangerous in the opponent's penalty area. He's a fantastic header of a ball, and he gets in corner kicks and free kicks. And yet, in his own penalty area, I always find that he's a little bit suspect. And I think if you look to last week's goal, you know, Rangers fans may accuse him of not getting to the ball when Celtic scored the first goal. And it is always a strange thing when I see him play, how more dangerous he is in his opponent's half.
So Goff still on the edge of the Celtic penalty area as Nisbet takes the corner. Swept away by Anton Rogan. Coyne running into trouble. Ferguson to Nisbet. Challenged by Rogan, the free kick to Rangers. Well, Scott Nisbet certainly causing problems for Celtic on the right side of the field. He's been pushing further and further forward throughout this first half. Starting in the right-back position, but pushing forward out every opportunity. Here he is with the free kick headed on. Great save by Bonner. Well, the flag up just below our commentary position as John Spencer is coming in, but the flag going up and the free kick to Celtic. The ball headed on. Bonner just stopping it, but the flag had been up. Spotted by the referee.
I don't know why the flag had gone up. The linesman obviously had seen something we didn't. But Rangers are getting closer and closer by the minute, and certainly putting Celtic under some pressure now.
McNally for Celtic. Up by Gary Stevens.
Chris Woods have been kicking the ball up the centre of the field, and he's done it again. And he's got Nisbet out here, who I'm sure, being a big fellow, might be a better ball to play.
So Spencer going for the line, but failing to keep the ball in play. Ali McCoy's getting a nice little touch on to Spencer, but not quite coming off for the youngster. Battling away with Darius Dovcek. Trying to go on the outside of the defender, but the ball just going behind.
As I say, Rangers are playing much better football this week, aren't they? They're knocking it around, and I think the combination up front with Johnson, McCoy and Spencer are looking quite good for them.
Anton Rogan running into trouble, giving it away to Nisbet. Now it's Spencer. Well, Spencer playing the early ball into the Celtic penalty area, hoping that Ali McCoy would be there. Dodds conceding the throw-in. Quickly closed down by Coyne. Gets the corner for Celtic. Tom Coyne on as a substitute last week, just 21 years of age. this atmosphere a difficult one to deal with this afternoon. Not to mention Joe Miller. Well, again, Elliott up there with Stevens. Rogan. Free kick to Celtic. The challenge by Gary Stevens on John Collins. So it's quickly taken by Celtic. Well, Darius Dobchik trying the shot. Of course, he scored the second goal last week. Tremendous shot, which came off Terry Hurlock. And I know manager Billy McNeil and coach Tommy Craig constantly honoured him to have a pot at goal. In fact, he's been a bit of a Scottish Cup mascot this season because he also scored in the tie against Forfar. The referee is calling over Tommy Coyne. A bit of a tussle there with Richard Gough, and it looks as though Coyne will be booked. There's Coyne's challenge. The referee obviously not happy with it, and now speaking to the Celtic striker, so the yellow card shown. So Dodds of Rangers and Coyne of Celtic, both booked. Just getting out of the dugout, showed some instructions to his players. Richard Gough well forward. Out jump by Elliott. Spencer. Elliott again. Now Elliott and Gough topple to the ground. The referee jumping in between the two players. Well, another flashpoint developing as the ball was cleared. Players squaring up to one another. Elliott there getting involved, putting his foot in. Gough showing a bit of retaliation, and the referee calling the players over. Now he's told Elliott to move to the side, and he's going to speak to Richard Gough. He's already had occasion to speak to the Rangers captain.
Actually, this has been simmering for the last sort of 5 or 10 minutes between these two. And corner kicks at the other end of the field as well. There's been a little bit of to and froing. And the referee, in fact, is saying that, you know, I was watching you get on down at the other end of the field as well. So I don't think either can complain.
The yellow card shown to Richard Gough. So 2 minutes of the first half left. Well, despite all the warnings after last week, 4 players cautioned in this first half. So we're now into injury time. Flashpoint there between Tommy Coyne and Richard Gough, with players booked. We'll have to be careful. It's Mo Johnson for Rangers. Cowan. The referee calling over McNally for a late challenge. And the referee beginning to lose his patience. Challenge there on John Spencer. So Mark McNally becomes the 3rd Celtic player cautioned. They'll play just over a minute of injury time. Rangers have the free kick. Richard Gough well forward again as Nigel Speckman. It's a high one into the penalty area, well taken though by Pat Connor. And there goes the half-time whistle. Great cheers from the Celtic fans. Anton Rogan, very much the hero of the hour, scoring after just 7 minutes. So the half-time score here at Parkhead, Celtic 1, Rangers 0. Jim, and welcome back to Celtic Park. Both teams coming back onto the field. And just a quick look around, no sign of any substitutes. Celtic have Andy Walker and Steve Fulton on the bench. Rangers have Sandy Robertson and Peter Haustra. So Ian, your view on that first half?
Well, I thought Rangers had more of the game, played probably the better football. Celtic started brightly and then just sort of tailed off, and I think Rangers have been dominating the game, so I think they really don't deserve to be a goal behind.
So there's a striking partnership so many Rangers fans have wanted to see all season. McCoist and Johnston. They get the second half underway. Johnston with 19 goals to his credit, McCoist with 18. Well, of course, it's an important afternoon for Rangers in terms of the championship. Also a very important afternoon for Celtic because of that result at Tannadice yesterday. Celtic can close the gap on Dundee United to 3 points this afternoon as they chase them for a UEFA Cup place. And of course, third place guarantees one of those UEFA Cup spots. Davy Dodds in the early action. Well, Johnson takes a tumble as he's challenged by John Collins, and the free kick to Rangers. So that will be the signal for Richard Gough to come forward. Collins taking the feet away from Johnston. Rangers pushing just about everyone forward. Richard Gough on the far end of the penalty area being watched by Elliott. McCoy's getting a touch, a chance for John Spencer, and it's cleared by Elliott. Well, what a chance for Spencer, the ball falling into his path right in front of goal. I think Ellie McCoy's got the merest touch as the ball came over, and it was Paul Elliott to Celtic's rescue as McCoy's getting the little touch, and Elliott sweeping it clear. Long throw, looking for the head of Richard Gough. Away by Collins. Ray Stevens coming in, dispossessed by Paul McStay. Anton Rogan, a long ball forward, looking for Tommy Coyne. It's 1 against 1. Coyne getting away from Davy Dodds. Tommy Coyne, he must score. Oh, he's forced wide. Still Coyne. Joe Miller. Joe Miller makes it 2-0 to Celtic. Situation for Davy Dodds. He got past him, he got away from the goalkeeper. It looked as though the chance was lost. Coyne, remaining calm, puts the ball into the path of little Joe Miller, and it's 2-0 to Celtic.
Well, Coyne did ever so well there, holding a defender off, going round the goalkeeper. Showed terrific awareness there by stopping the ball, keeping it in play, and there was a lovely little cut back for Joe Miller to knock in. Rangers caught with a sucker punch, really. You know, should have had it tied up at 1-1 at the other end. Spencer missed a great chance, and then Celtic with that one long ball caught Rangers all up the field, and that's it, 2-0 up.
Well, Joe Miller's 10th goal of the season. Well, this championship has been blown wide open. Nisbet with the throw. Rangers really must get themselves back into this game quickly. Celtic fans in full cry now, and what a difference a week can make. A week ago today, the Celtic players were battling to keep the season alive in terms of the Scottish Cup. Now they're mounting a real challenge for a UEFA Cup place as well, keeping two avenues open to Europe. And it's almost 2.5 years since Celtic last defeated Rangers in a Premier Division match. That was 9 games ago. Rangers, in fact, taking 7 points out of the 8 last season. The ball aimed at Nisbet, he gets the touch. Connor wasting no time. That's a good kick out to Tommy Coyne. Quickly challenged, though, by Gary Stevens. Spencer to Nisbet. Johnston losing out. McStay coming forward. Anton giving the ball away, getting it back and taken out of the game by Nisbet. And Nisbet now in trouble with the referee lunging in. That's a bad tackle on McStay. Well, McStay had almost been caught in possession. He got away and then taken from behind by Nisbet. And it's a red card for Scott Nisbet. Nisbet has been ordered from the field by referee George Smith. Minutes. A wild challenge on the Celtic captain.
Well, it was a crazy tackle, really, and Graeme Souness must be wondering what the hell's going on with his players, because they're doing the most stupid things. I mean, that was a crazy tackle. You know, Paul McStay was playing the ball away. Nisbet could never have got to it, and to throw himself in like that from a back was just plain crazy.
Challenge now by Ian Ferguson on John Collins.
This could be a replica of last week, because, you know, Rangers have certainly just gone now. I mean, they're diving into everything.
Well, the referee wants John Collins over as well. I think he may feel that Collins made a slight meal of it, but the challenge was certainly late. He's now speaking to the Celtic player, Paul McStay, the Celtic captain, intervening.
I think Collins had to jump, otherwise he was going to get quite a crack in the shin.
So the referee has had a word with both players. Free kick against Richard Gough for his challenge on Anton Rogan. Well, this is a difficult period for Rangers. They're really going to have to calm things down as much as possible, but again they've shot themselves in the foot with just 10 men, and it's Joe Miller taking on the full-back and winning the corner. Nigel Spackman pushing it behind for the corner kick. Chris Woods screaming instructions to his defenders as Paul Elliott moves forward for Celtic. So 60 minutes gone, Celtic leading by 2 goals to 0. Ellie's cross charged down by Spackman, away by Spencer. Well, check for Celtic. Ball out of play. It's Rangers' ball, but there was a push there.
I mean, Cowan just pushed him in the back there, and the linesman standing looking at it, and give Rangers a throw in.
It's hard to understand that one. Rangers ball again. Long ball forward for Coyne and Craney to chase. Dodds under pressure again. Ball going behind for the corner kick. Well, Davy Dodds finding it very difficult to cope with the running of Coyne and Craney when these long balls come forward. Elliott there again as Miller prepares to take the corner. Being watched by Gary Stevens and Richard Gough. Anton Rogan with the shot. I think it's quite remarkable, Ian, that the corner kicks for Celtic, the way Gary Stevens is looking into the face of Paul Elliott, he's not looking at the ball at all.
Well, I mentioned that from the first corner kick that Celtic got, and I can't believe it, because if he's looking at the face of Elliott, he's not looking at the ball, so therefore he can't be playing the ball, so it must be a foul. And the referee has watched that going on right through the game and has done nothing about it.
Well, McCoy's under pressure from that kick out by Chris Woods, and now Craney has it. McStay, Miller's wide in the right, Miller racing in. Cut out by Richard Gough and behind for the corner kick. Well, Chris Woods putting his team in trouble again with a very poor kick out. That was a lovely ball from McStay to Miller. Miller hitting the early cross. Shot corner this time. McStay driving it forward. Off the line by McCoy. It was Coyne's shot. Craney. Jerry Craney. Nope. The referee, in fact, has chalked it off. The referee has chalked it off. McStay driving it across the face of the goal. It was Coyne's shot taken off the line by McCoist. And then Craney sending it forward.
I think it must have been offside there on Tommy Coyne offside.
Punching the loose ball, taken down by Gough. Well, Richard Gough living very dangerously. The referee giving the free kick to Celtic. Ian Ferguson involved there as well. Oh, Tommy Coyne can manage a smile. And 70 minutes gone. Rangers making a substitution. Ian Ferguson is going off. And Sandy Robertson coming on. A season of disappointment for Ian Ferguson. Young Sandy Robertson, he's played 12 games so far this season, including 2 against Celtic. The 2-1 win here in November, plus the 2-0 game for Rangers at New Year. He came on as a substitute that day. He'll be 20 next month and signed in 1988 as an S-form. Here come Rangers now. The chance on for John Spencer. It's cleared off the line by Anton Rogan. Right into the hands of Pat Bonner. Well, that's the second chance.
Can you believe this? I can't believe this, that Rangers are missing the chances like this. I mean, you're talking really just simple knock-ins. And Mo Johnston, I think, on the line there may even have helped us keep it out.
Well, what a day for Anton Rogan. He scores a goal, he clears the ball off his own goal line. John Spencer battling hard. Top by Spackman. Here's Mo Johnston. Ball right into the hands of Pat Bonner. Mo Johnston scoring here at Celtic Park earlier in the season. And really a great chance for him there, but hitting the ball straight at his former teammate.
Well, little Mo's really not had an awful lot to do in this game today. He's been well shackled by the Celtic defence, and really I think that's about the first shot at goal he's had.
McCoy's good ball through to Sandy Robertson. Stevens. Johnston. Stevens back to Johnston. Good challenge by McStay. Walker getting in ahead of Dodds. Joe Miller racing through. Miller getting away from Cowan. Fine save by Chris Woods. Oh, that was a classic counter-attack by Celtic. Coming from deep inside their own half. Good ball played to Miller. Showing great speed there to get away from the defender. And good goalkeeping by Chris Woods. Stay the header! Tommy Coyne! 85 minutes. Tommy Coyne does it again. Joe Miller on the right. The ball played right across goal. A brilliant downward header. Tommy Coyne's 14th goal in 22 games. It really is a remarkable record. Celtic 3. Rangers 0. Celtic making another substitution. John Collins going off and Stevie Fulton coming on. Well, he played his last game in the Scottish Cup tie against Morpeth. And I know Celtic have been anxious to get him involved in first team play again. He's worked very hard in the reserves. Well, this must raise serious question marks against Rangers' ability to hold on to the championship. They look to have it all cut and dried. They still hold a 3-point advantage. And of course Aberdeen go to Ibrox on the last day of the season. Again, some very important games coming up before that. Celtic to play both Aberdeen and Dundee United. So we could be in for an exciting climax to a championship. Many people, including myself, thought was well and truly won. But it's not just the manner Rangers have been defeated in these two games. They really have been taken apart by Celtic, who have shown a lot more composure. So 3 minutes to play.
The Celtic fans are chanting easy, and it has been easy for them, I suppose, in a way. The Rangers pressed the self-destruct button with that mistake early on in the game with the goalkeeper, and then throughout the match losing a player, you know, missing chances. They've just thrown the game away, haven't they?
So here comes Celtic again, Anton Rogan, but he fails to keep the ball in play. Well, he does give 100%. He has his critics, Anton Rogan, but a smashing player going forward.
Oh yes, and you have to say that Celtic, I mean, Celtic are hard enough side to play against without doing them any favours, and I think Rangers did them favours this afternoon.
Nigel Spackman trying to get some consolation for Rangers, but it's Fulton for Celtic. McNally to McStay. Richard Goff winning the ball. Paul McStay taking a bit of a knock. Harry Stevens. John Spencer. Good turn by Spencer. Stopped by Derek White. Forward to Andy Walker. And Fulton's crossfield pass blocked by Goff. So we're inside the final minute. I must pay tribute to the Rangers fans away to the left of our commentary position, because they have stayed right to what must be a very bitter end for them. But for the second time in a week, it's Celtic's day. 2.5 years they've waited to beat Rangers in a Premier Division Championship match. They're doing it now at the 10th attempt, and with some style. The offside flag goes up against Ali McCoist. So we're now moving into injury time. Coyne getting the touch for Rangers. Elliott above Johnston. Free kick to Rangers. Foul against Andy Walker. Well, the Celtic flags and banners stretched all around Parkhead. Elliott beating Goff. Picked up now by Sandy Robertson. Stevens having to backtrack a bit. So the referee checks his watch. We've now played over a minute, and there goes the final whistle. Scenes of jubilation on the Celtic terraces. The shake of the hands there between Joe Miller and his captain Paul McStay. Warm handshakes between both sets of players. So let's now go to the break.